A 21-year-old student checks into one of LA's most infamous hotels and vanishes without a trace. 19 days later, hotel guests start complaining about the water. It's black, it tastes metallic, and the pressure is weak. When maintenance goes to check the rooftop water tanks, they make a discovery that would haunt investigators for years. This is the mysterious case of Elisa Lam, and what happened to her defies explanation. I'm going to walk you through every detail of this case, and by the end, you'll understand why it remains one of the most debated mysteries of our time. Before we dive into this mystery, if you're new to Past Oracle, make sure to subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. It really helps us bring you more incredible true crime content. Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old Canadian student from Vancouver studying at the University of British Columbia. By all accounts, she was bright, creative, and had dreams of becoming a writer. She maintained a blog called Ether Fields where she shared her thoughts on life, travel, and her struggles with bipolar disorder. In January 2013, Elisa decided to take a solo trip to California, something she called her West Coast tour. She planned to visit San Diego, Los Angeles, and Santa Cruz. Her parents were initially hesitant about her traveling alone, but Elisa was determined to prove her independence. She was supposed to check out of the Cecil Hotel on January 31st and head to Santa Cruz. She'd already booked her hostel there, but January 31st came and went, and Elisa never showed up. When she didn't call her parents, something she did religiously every day, they knew something was terribly wrong. Now, let's talk about where Elisa was staying, the Cecil Hotel. And folks, this place has a history that reads like a horror novel. Built in 1924, the Cecil was once a glamorous destination, but by the 1950s it had become a magnet for tragedy. We're talking about dozens of suicides, murders, and unexplained deaths. Serial killers Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, and Jack Unterweger both stayed here while hunting victims. The hotel sits in Skid Row, one of LA's most dangerous areas. Drug deals, violence, and desperation are daily occurrences outside its doors. Many guests were transients, people with mental health issues, or those who simply had nowhere else to go. Why would a young tourist choose to stay here? Simple. It was cheap. Elisa was traveling on a budget, and the Cecil offered rooms for as little as $65 a night. But this decision may have cost her everything. On January 31st, the day Elisa was supposed to check out, hotel security cameras captured something bizarre. In grainy black and white footage, we see Elisa entering an elevator, but what happens next has puzzled experts for over a decade. Elisa presses multiple buttons, but the elevator doors won't close. She then starts behaving erratically, stepping in and out of the elevator, pressing herself against the wall, and making strange hand gestures as if she's talking to someone we can't see. The most chilling part? She appears to be hiding from something or someone in the hallway. She peers around the corner multiple times, seemingly checking if the coast is clear. The footage lasts 4 minutes, and it's the last confirmed sighting of Elisa alive. This video went viral when police released it, spawning thousands of theories. Was she having a psychotic episode? Was someone threatening her off camera? Or was something even more sinister happening? When Elisa's parents reported her missing, the LAPD launched a massive search operation. They scoured the Cecil Hotel from top to bottom, interviewing staff and guests. Search and rescue dogs were brought in, helicopters circled the area, and divers searched nearby waterways. But here's where things get strange. The search dog showed interest in the hotel's rooftop area, but investigators found nothing. The rooftop was supposedly secured with alarms and locked doors. Hotel management claimed it was impossible for guests to access without triggering security measures. Police also discovered that Elisa had been moved from her shared room to a private room shortly before her disappearance. Hotel staff said this was due to odd behavior that made her roommates uncomfortable. But what kind of behavior? And why wasn't this taken more seriously? The investigation seemed to hit dead ends at every turn. No witnesses, no evidence of foul play, and no trace of where Elisa could have gone. 19 days after Elisa vanished, hotel guests began complaining about the water. It was coming out black and foul tasting. The water pressure was extremely low. Some guests even reported getting sick after showering or brushing their teeth. On February 19th, maintenance worker Santiago Lopez was sent to investigate the hotel's water tanks on the rooftop. What he found would traumatize him forever. Floating in one of the 4 large water tanks was Elisa Lam's body. She was found naked, with her clothes and belongings floating beside her. The tank's heavy lid, which typically requires 2 people to remove, was found open. But here's what makes this discovery so disturbing. Hotel guests had been drinking, bathing, and brushing their teeth with this water for nearly 3 weeks. The psychological trauma for those guests is unimaginable. This is where the case gets truly mysterious, because the circumstances of how Elisa ended up in that water tank make absolutely no logical sense. First, access to the rooftop required passing through several locked doors and supposedly would have triggered alarms. How did Elisa get up there undetected? Second, the water tank she was found in required climbing a ladder and lifting an extremely heavy lid. The tank opening was small, and once inside, it would be nearly impossible to climb back out. Third, if this was suicide, why was she found naked? Her clothes were floating in the tank, but how and why did she remove them? Fourth, toxicology reports showed only traces of her prescribed bipolar medication in her system, but at levels suggesting she hadn't been taking it regularly. Was this intentional, or had someone interfered with her medication? And finally, the elevator footage. Security experts have noted that the timestamp appears to have been altered, and the footage itself may have been edited. What was removed and why? Over the years, several theories have emerged to explain what happened to Elisa Lam. Theory 1, mental health crisis. Supporters of this theory point to Elisa's bipolar disorder and suggest she was experiencing a manic or psychotic episode. They believe she accessed the roof during a moment when security was lax and accidentally fell into the tank. Theory 2, foul play. Many believe someone murdered Elisa and staged the scene to look like an accident or suicide. The naked body, the impossible access to the tank, and the edited security footage all support this theory. Theory 3, supernatural involvement. Given the Cecil Hotel's dark history, some believe paranormal forces were at play. The elevator footage, they argue, shows Elisa interacting with entities we can't see. Theory 4, cover-up. Some investigators believe hotel staff or management were involved, and that evidence was deliberately destroyed or altered to avoid liability. The official ruling was accidental drowning with bipolar disorder as a contributing factor, but many experts disagree with this conclusion. The truth is, we may never know exactly what happened to Elisa Lam in those final days of January 2013. But her case has exposed serious questions about hotel security, mental health resources for travelers, and how missing person investigations are conducted. The Cecil Hotel has since been renovated and rebranded, but Elisa's story continues to haunt both the building and everyone who learns about this case. What do you think really happened to Elisa Lam? Was this a tragic accident, a calculated murder, or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments below. If this case intrigued you, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I cover mysterious cases like this every week. And remember, if you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, please reach out for help. Resources are linked in the description below. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.